welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be switching out my exhaust for this Vance Hines slip-on muffler. It's been a long-awaited video. I've had my Coffmans for I think 2 years now. So if you guys want to see me install this in less than 10 minutes, it should be super simple, and then I can do a quick comparison for you guys. Oh no! There's a cop coming. No! All right, take two, because we got kicked out of the other spot because there was a cop that said we couldn't park there. Hi guys, if you want to watch me switch out my exhaust to this beautiful Vance Hines slip-on muffler, then keep watching. I'll be comparing the two, giving you guys a full sound test review, compare the prices and the quality of these guys. So let's get into it. Alrighty, first thing we gotta do is just take off this old exhaust. I'm going to be using a 13 millimeter. All right, that is loose. I'm gonna get a rag because this boy kind of hot. Woo! All right, so it comes off like that in two pieces. Beautiful. Goodbye, Coffmans. You were loved very much and used a lot, and I still really like this exhaust a lot. All right, let's get the new one on. All right, we got both of them next to each other to show you guys the comparison of the sizes. Also, if you want some bonus clips, I'm going to show you guys just straight pipe for my bike, no exhaust. So stick around to the end for that. For now, I'm just gonna show you guys the differences. This one's kind of like an upsweep. They call it the upsweep Vance Hines. This one, it's a little shorter. So yeah, now we're going to put on the Vance Hines exhaust and let's get right into that. Vance Hines has an installation guide that you can download from their website, and this page just shows you the parts and the hardware that comes in the box. Okay, so I found it easiest to attach this part to the muffler first, but you can also choose to slip the muffler on, but I will be attaching this piece onto it first before I slip it on. Using Loctite, you're just going to get a little bit on, and then you're going to screw that directly into the muffler. And you want to make sure that this is facing the correct way as well, so you can refer to the little diagram to show you exactly how to attach it. And then you're going to want to make sure you do the same to the other side as well. You can kind of go back and forth, and then tighten them both real good at the end. Alright, now we're going to put the front spacer, and I think this is called the fling nut. You're going to get some Loctite on there and put it through the stock bracket mount. Make sure you're really careful with the Loctite so it doesn't get everywhere. Don't put too much, but yeah, you're just going to place it through and have it all prepped and ready. Now we have the barrel band here, and you're going to loosen it so that it's large enough to go around the muffler. You're going to attach it to the base of the muffler, pull out that fling nut and spacer so that you can get it lined up exactly to the back of your stock mounting bracket. Make sure the fling nut goes through the mounting bracket that is attached to your exhaust, and now we can attach the back to make sure that that fling nut is secure. You're going to want to tighten this and the barrel band at the bottom, kind of go back and forth to make sure that it's evenly secure. And for this down here, I'm going to be using a 10 millimeter, just tightening it, and then you're going to go back to the top using a 12 millimeter here to just keep that in place and tighten it fully, and then you're done. I read online that some people were worried about the size of this exhaust if it would get in the way of saddlebags, but as you can see, it does not get in the way of mine. It has a perforated baffle with a fiberglass wrap, as you can see on the inside. It's made of mild steel with a matte black ceramic finish, and it only comes in the matte black. It's a tapered cone muffler style with that upsweep look. And yes, now the moment you've all been waiting for, I will be doing a sound test and comparison of my old exhaust versus this new one with the decibel reading. You should wipe it down before you turn it on to avoid getting any of your prints permanently on the exhaust. Once it heats up, it's harder to get those things off. It says in the directions as well, you should wipe it down with some water and some light soap and then dry it thoroughly before turning it on. But I'm giving just like one nice little wipe down. was not expecting for this to be that loud for some reason. I don't know why. This is crazy loud. Now, something I want to say, I still love the Coffman's exhaust and I would highly recommend it. I cannot say one is better than the other. They're both offering you different things too, and they have different price points. So you can't really go wrong with either one. Feel free to pause the video here to look at the comparison, and right now I'll be going over the pros and cons of both exhausts based on some posts I've seen on Reddit and many customer reviews. The first pro for the V&H exhaust is the sound. It's widely considered by many Rebel owners to have the deepest and most aggressive tone out of any slip-ons for the Rebel. Another pro is the aesthetics. The aggressive upswept angle gives this Rebel a custom performance cruiser look. Now some cons for Vance and Hines. The saddlebag issue seems to be a major one for other people. For me, I didn't have this issue. The saddlebags that I have on my bike from Viking Bags seem to be small enough to not get in the way. Keep in mind that the muffler's pointing straight up at the bottom of my saddlebag, so I'll have to be monitoring this to make sure it doesn't cause any damage to it, whether that be melting it, burning or drying the bag, or just damaging the contents of the bag. They recommend to have a minimum of 2 to 4 inches of clearance between the exhaust and your saddlebag. So yeah, I'm just not sure. I didn't really ride this long enough to really tell if it did any damage to it, but that's something I'll be looking out for. But the upsweep design has made it difficult for other people to install saddlebags or side luggage on their bikes, based on some reviews that I've seen. Another huge con is rusting concerns. So I've seen multiple Reddit posts saying that because it's made out of mild steel, some people claim to see rusting and corrosion issues within the first year of installation. And finally, the last con is surprisingly the volume. Because the Rebel 300's catalytic converter is located within the stock muffler, when you remove the stock muffler, it also removes the cat. So this is creating a near straight pipe, and on the 300, this can make the V&H pipe extremely loud, and some people online describe it as obnoxious or just loud as hell. Now that's not necessarily totally a con. Some people really like a loud exhaust and they're looking specifically for that kind of sound. So yeah, personal preference. Alright, on to the Coffman's. So pros for the Coffman's Thunder is that it's constructed from stainless steel and finished with this high temp ceramic coating. This makes it more resistant to rust and corrosion than the Vance & Hines. Another pro is the saddlebag compatibility. Because it's a straight compact design, it's perfect for riders who want to install saddlebags. You really have nothing to worry about. It's such a shorty little exhaust that it doesn't really get in the way. The exhaust includes a removable baffle, so this allows you to dial in the sound so you can go louder and more aggressive with the baffle out, or quieter and more chill with the baffle in, offering flexibility that the V&H just doesn't have. Another pro is the affordability. At nearly $100 less than the V&H one, it still offers really great value because of the stainless steel construction and sound control. And the final pro, I've seen a lot on Reddit and some other reviews. They just praise Coffman's for having excellent customer service and really quickly addressing any issues. Now on to the cons. The sound, while highly praised to have this deep, throaty, and aggressive sound, a few people who have heard both the Coffman's and the V&H Upsweep say that the V&H has a slightly better growl or a deeper sound, and I can attest to that. The Coffman's one's going to be a little quieter, as you've heard, but honestly that's not a bad thing. Some people want that, so they don't want something that's going to be insanely loud like the Vance & Hines. You know, it's up to personal preference. I think they're both really great exhausts and I would highly recommend either one of them. I just wanted to give you guys that cool comparison, show you guys how to install it. It really takes no effort and it's like a really easy mod that you can do, especially if you're a beginner too, if you want to just like a fun little improvement to your bike. So hope you guys enjoyed that review. I'll see you guys in the next one. Holy beep.
120.
Holy beep.
That hurt.
Does this look silly that I'm holding it with the rags?
Smile like for real. Yeah.
What, did it look silly?
Nope, that looked great. I hope you use that one. You were like this.
Oh no.
Which one?